What's up? Welcome back to Haptic Feedback. I'm really grateful that you're here to watch another interview of mine. Today's special guest is DvDx, who was kind enough to come through. It's a kind of a follow-up interview. We did our first interview earlier this year, and that was my first time kind of interacting with him outside of like music venues and such, so that was cool. And we've been pretty locked in since then, so that was a good time. Before that, I guess I just want to say thank you. The last 30 days have been the most views I've gotten in a 30-day period so far. So I'm really grateful for that. I'm glad y'all are enjoying it and interacting with this stuff. Special thanks to Jelani, who's been giving me a pretty big push lately, posting me on his own website and stuff like that. We sat down with David the Tragic before that, Trill before that, Cam 1K, Martin from Extinct, Ace, and of course Jawara. And so we're coming to the end of, I guess, this season, if you want to call it that. After DvDx, we have two more guests to close out the year, and then hopefully we'll have a good little gap where we can kind of do some self-scouting, fix some things, improve the product, and be back early next year to keep it going. So that's all I got. Without further ado, DvDx. What's up? Welcome back, y'all, to another Haptic Feedback interview. And today we got a special guest coming through, DvDx.
What's good?
How you doing today, bro?
Man, chilling, bruh.
That's what's up. So if y'all remember him from my brand in a past life, I guess, we did a very terrible quality interview, sound-wise. Like, the interview itself was good, but sound-wise, because we did end up.
It was at 10
we
drum.
I guess I'll tell y'all a quick backstory how that happened. So apparently, we were supposed to do it at Barnes and Noble, which is like twice as quiet as a restaurant.
Yeah.
But like when I got there was like people along the wall who like had all the sockets.
Oh yeah, nah.
But they weren't using them. No, they were just sitting there.
People get territorial.
And I was like, hey, yeah. I'm trying to. No. I'm not moving. I was like, why not? You're not. You don't have a phone plugged up. You're literally just sitting here drinking your coffee. Like, literally, there's seats right there. And they were like, no.
Yeah. So
we ended up going there. It was pretty cool. And so we've been kind of cool ever since then, mostly. So appreciate you coming back through for sure.
Nah, I had to, for sure.
So you're coming off the release of your joint album with Juberlee, Sensory Overload. Yeah. So congratulations for that. How do you feel finally kind of having it out for the world?
Man, I feel kind of relieved, really excited. That's like the first thing, well, aside from the 2 singles from the project, right. It's kind of like the first official release of like I've dropped this year. And it just feels like it's just such a it's such a long gap between that and the Irreplaceable Now, just because like the Irreplaceable Now was practically like over a year before I dropped Sensory Overload. So yeah, I don't plan on like taking that much time ever again.
Well, okay.
Yeah. Well, for right now, in the foreseeable future. Yeah.
So you are, of course, a guy who wears multiple hats throughout the music industry. And so you have a lot of production credits this year for sure, while you weren't releasing like music of your own. And so you got songs with, I've wrote down a couple people whose stuff I like that you did. Candy Kiko's recently.
Yeah.
Ren Hayes' song earlier this year was really good. Dave, Burgundy, Jaleel.
Yeah.
And then you, Daniel Novello as well, which you had your hands like in more than the other ones, I would say, of course. So what was it like kind of being a part of that process, and you guys saying it took like many years to put that project together?
Man, that like the process of that project was like probably the most grueling and the most like invested I had been in, but kind of more so because we were just kind of living in album mode for like a long time. But I'm extremely proud of how that project came out, and proud of Daniel for like, you know, really following through and, you know, sticking to his vision and really just going crazy and, you know, just staying true to himself too. Right. So, but yeah, that process was long, very long. Like probably went through like maybe 3 or 4 different versions of the album before the album became the album.
Right. Yeah. So what does it mean to you to be in like album mode?
I think really it is all it really is. Like at the tip of the iceberg is just saying, just being working with the intention of dropping an album. That's just album mode, and it's like purest form to me. But what all that comes with really depends on the artist and, you know, just how they work. So with Daniel, it was just, I feel like because it was so long, it like how it changed, like how it was, like the process of it changed a lot. Like there would be times where Daniel would be like mostly coming up with the ideas, and I would just be adding on to it, or maybe he'd have another producer, Keith Cameron, come in and start giving him a beat, and he would hop on it, or maybe I would start on a beat and send it to him, or we would just make some shit together. But yeah, it just varies a lot from artist to artist and time to time, you know.
Okay, no, that makes sense. And so what song did you enjoy making, not necessarily from that album, but in general this year that you got to work on? Which one did you, not necessarily even the final result, but which song had the like most enjoyable process of making?
Man, damn. Let's see. Just like working on it this year.
Yeah, just this year. Maybe because the session was interesting, or how it came together was interesting. Something funny happened.
I'm trying to think, cause like when I do sessions, a lot of times I just kind of blank out, like just like black out, and so sessions aren't really as memorable as the songs themselves to me. But I will say probably a song that me and Ren did that's not out yet. It's gonna be on Ren's next project. But we were at this producer Dan Hartzog at his studio, and Dan has like all these synths, like live synths and stuff, and a lot of times we would just go in there and just start just pressing buttons and
right.
fucking around until we make something. And I think this one song that we worked on called Girls, that really turned out really, really cool, and that was a lot of fun. That was a lot of fun to do. Okay,
especially in an unfamiliar environment too, so that could be definitely good time. And so what song you worked on do you think was like objectively the best one?
Oh man, objectively the best song that I've worked on like ever?
No, this year.
This year. Okay, shit.
Do you think like that one came out like exactly what we was trying to do? It came out like that.
I don't know if we worked on this song this year. I think we might have worked on it last year, but we definitely finished it this year. So does that count?
That does count.
It's another song on Ren's album. It's called My Bed, and has a feature on it. Cool feature. And that song is that's like one of my favorite songs I've ever produced. And Joshua mixed it. That's like one of my favorite Joshua mixes, Joshua Rooks. That's one of my.
It's really a staple in the community.
Yes, I was just over at Ren's house last night. We were just wrapping up the album. So, but that song, My Bed, is crazy. Like that's just, I can't be objective though. I mean, I can't be really truly objective.
Right.
Honestly,
no, for sure. And you're like picking kids, so it's
yeah.
I guess we'll leave that part to the hats like me. So. Your album turned out to be a joint project. And so what was it like kind of working with Juberlee, or even just coming up with the idea to like do a project together? Was it always that, or were you kind of working on something and he was like, and then y'all kind of morphed it into a joint project?
Yeah, so I think me and Jube have been working on like stuff together for a long time, just like production wise, just making beats together since like 2019.
Okay.
And like I think as I started pivoting into being an artist, he started like sending me like beats every now and again, like, hey, you like, I want to send you this beat. And I was just like, can I use this? And he's like, of course, that's why I'm sending it to you. And so and so I just started hopping on certain beats. Like I think one of the first songs I did for the project was Ride. And I was in LA. We were both in LA at the time. And I just took it back to my Airbnb and just recorded on it. And I was like, oh, this is really, really cool. And I've always loved Jude's production. Like, he's like unmatched to me. Like, nobody's really touching him. Like, especially within like close proximity. like he's crazy. And especially when he like really applies himself, like he's one of my favorite producers for sure. So kind of like just working with him or just really getting beats from him was kind of a no-brainer for my own stuff until and then it eventually developed, like, because I started doing a lot more songs with him, and like all the songs that I would do with him all had a certain feel, and so I just started naturally grouping them together, and then eventually it just became like a whole DvDx and Juberlee project. So yeah.
Okay, no, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
And so how did you guys' like dynamic shift in making a project together? Like, what's the feedback loop like in a situation like that?
Man, Jude, he be gassing me. I'm not gonna lie. he like anytime I show him like new shit, he's like, man, I love this. Like, so I guess I'm more so. It's more so hard. I'm more so hard on myself, cause I mean honestly, like I probably don't even show anybody anything like for real unless I feel like it's good enough to show somebody, you know.
Right.
So that might play into it a lot, but yeah, definitely just like I think. It really is just like having like just a whole different like person to like guide the sound into a different world. So I think that's really cool. But I think now I'm like this is kind of a hard question. Like I think just our rapport is I think it's kind of the same, honestly.
Okay.
Yeah, we're just like I think we've grown into like a relationship now where like, you know, as opposed to just me collabing on beats with him, like he's sending me stuff to like actually write to, and and just like I think that's pretty much it.
Okay. So the process is more or less the same, just some more stuff added to it.
Yeah, and I guess we haven't really been like collabing on beats as much, but and it's more so me hopping on his beats when he'll send them. If you're watching this, Jude, send me some beats.
Some more beats.
More beats.
So you have a lot of skits on the album.
Yeah.
And they're all good. And they're like, you know, some are a little more serious. Some have some comedic undertones to it. When did the skits begin to take shape and play a part?
I think the skits for me were like more so glue. I think the glue to like make all the songs flow well together, but also and also just like make the songs flow better and also bring the whole concept together better. And because I think the skits really helped kind of just make it more of a full like idea or a concept.
Right.
And so I always like I don't know, I had like when I was in high school, my senior year, I dropped like my first mixtape that nobody can find. Don't even try. But I had skits on there, and it was like just a couple of skits. It wasn't even like nothing. But like I don't know, it was real fun to make, and I also really fuck with like the sound design aspect of doing skits too. Like just like, you know, in that intro where I'm like flipping through channels and you hear me like eating snacks and stuff, and you know, like all the little tiny details. Like I think that's really cool and it's real fun to do. And
so you have to go in and like ruffle the bags or whatever. Like,
oh no, I like
find it.
Yeah, somewhere. I found the sounds. Okay. Yeah,
because I've never really like thought about how that comes together for people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that makes sense. So you started with Medicine. That was the first song you dropped.
Yeah,
and so I like to always ask artists when they're gearing up to start the rollout, how they go about picking the single. Like, what is it about the song that they lead with? What makes that the one that's worthy of kickstarting the promotion of the album?
Well, I think that was like a lot of people's favorite. Like whenever I play it for people, they'd be like, oh, this is great. Like I love this. So of course, definitely want to go with a favorite first. And I think also that like this project all in all is very layered. From like the content to like, you know, the sound, the production, like it's very like, and I think Medicine is a really good top layer. And I think it's like, you know, at the very surface level, it's like, yo, this is a really dope song. Like I can get drunk to this shit. I can get fucked up to this shit and party. But you know, at the end of the day, there's like, it's like kind of deeper than that. Not really, but you know, it's like, I guess in context, especially in context of the project, you know, it comes right after the motions, and like the hook goes like, every time I go through the motions, I drown, like, I don't even know my words. Like, every time I go through the motions, my heart starts to close, and then I drown in these potions again. And that's like, you know, just drinking shit. And so that's how it segues into medicine. It's like, you know, I'm getting fucked up, and it seems like I'm having fun from this, but like, if you have context, it's because like, yo, I'm trying to like, you know, not really trying to like face my anxiety or like all the shit that's like going on in my head. I kind of want to take a break from that or get away from that. It's kind of escapism. It's kind of sad, but but when you just hear medicine, you're like, this shit's turned. Like, this is hard.
You gotta sneak it in there.
Yeah. So yeah. Also, yeah. Ultimately, it's just like the top surface. It's the surface
for sure. And so, you did the video, and I was lucky enough to be a part of hanging out to watch that come together. So thank you for that. I should put the video. I put the video of David throwing you. That's just so funny every single time.
Bro, I'm not gonna lie, that was really fun. I felt like I was in the WWE.
He talked about all the time. It's like, bro, I'm not a bad guy. Like, I do not like throwing people. And it's funny because when I first met him, he's so like serious looking. You know,
especially when he's playing basketball. Oh my god,
he comes off very serious. So you would think he'd just be throwing people all the time. But anyway, y'all shot that video. Brian, shout out to Brian. On iPhone.
Yeah,
which was like, you know, you don't see that every day, especially because like at this point y'all both have access to like larger scale resources. So when did it come together as an idea to shoot it in the format of like a story?
Man, that was like I think I was like kind of dragging my feet on videos for sensory overload. I kind of still am, but like I'm getting better. I'm really trying to crank them out for sure.
Right.
But definitely like I tried shooting the medicine video with somebody else before, and it kind of fell through. And all the ideas I had were very loose, more so like shot based, and like how I wanted, and didn't really have much of a story. But then I think what happened? I think I was just sitting around and like realized, yo, I need to shoot this video. And so I think I just randomly came up with the idea, like, because it just goes really well. Like I was thinking, I had an idea at first where I would like actually just throw like a party, or maybe even like a release party for the album, and then like but at the release party I would just be acting really drunk, and then like see if like people would just like record me just wilding out. So I would actually like the shit I'm doing in the video.
Right.
That's what I would have been doing at the party, and people would just be looking at me crazy or
like,
whatever.
What's going on?
Yeah, but I don't think it would have worked because I don't think people would have actually like filmed me. They would be like actually concerned.
That's what I was gonna say. Because even just the one scene where you had like the tea in the Henny bottle, we were all like, "No, what are you doing? Please stop!"
No, that was
felt like
hilarious.
We were watching a car wreck. Like, it was honestly terrifying. I was so concerned,
bro. I love that.
No, that's crazy. That was honestly terrifying. I was legitimately scared.
That's fun because like I think it's kind of the shit that who does shit like that. I think that one movie, this is probably not a good example or not a cool example, but that one movie with Eric Andre and Lil Rel, and where they like, it's a movie but they're getting like people's actual like reactions because they think shit is going on. It's like actual people in the movie, they're the extras, but it's just a bunch of wild shit happening. And like, I don't know.
Sounds like Jackass.
Yeah, but it's like
you know, in the sense of, I don't know. I haven't seen the Eric Andre movie, so I don't know what you're talking about. But
I think it's called Bad Trip.
Okay.
Yeah, and like, but it's like an actual storyline. It's a scripted movie, but the stunts are just done in real life, and like the extras are just real unsuspecting people.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, it's just it's kind of a crazy concept, but at the end of like, it's more or less like a prank.
Right. Okay.
It was some prank shit.
Nah, the video was cool. You're like, it's like every scene was just funnier because I had no idea like what you were gonna do scene to scene, and so just to watch it, I'm just like, okay, he's gonna throw you through a table, cool, and then you come out, you're drinking that, and then you got like the whistle and stuff. Yeah. So I'm just like watching it unfold while like, meanwhile I'm having this serious conversation about like J. Cole's discography or something. Oh,
that's what you guys were talking about?
You're just in the background like whistling and doing weird
dancing,
shit. So it was funny, yeah. It was funny to like, you see the video and we're supposed to look like we're having serious conversation and we're having serious conversation. We're just looking at you like legitimately like, what the fuck is he doing? So it was a lot of fun. I really liked that video. And to see it on the other side like come out so well, it was dope.
No, I appreciate it. Thank you.
And so then after Medicine, we had Ride.
Mm-hmm.
And then, seeing the cover art for those singles as well, it was like really exciting because it was like, I don't know where it was that actually.
That is in Jube's house. That's a room in Jube's house. And what's crazy is, Jade was supposed to, did the photo shoot for that. And I just pulled up the Jube and I was like, we need to take some like press pictures for like Sensory Overload. We had no idea what we were going to do though, like what the concept was. And Jube just had this like black chalkboard in like, or it's a whole wall, black wall. That's like a kind of a chalkboard, but it didn't really have anything on it. So I think we just went to Walmart, bought some chalk, and then just started drawing shit on there. Yeah. And and then we were like, okay, yeah, let's just take pictures behind this, and that's gonna be like the backdrop.
Wow.
Yeah.
I thought you guys like found that in like a tunnel somewhere.
Oh, no.
So y'all hand drew that.
Y'all all of that like is drawn by me and Jude.
Wow. That's kind of crazy, high key. What the heck? So then you drop Ride as the next single, and I remember you telling me, I like commented on one of your stories or something, you were like really thrilled to have like grasped that melody from, wherever our ideas come from.
Mm-hmm.
So what was it like coming to that point in the song?
Man, that hook, man, like I said, like when we were in LA, Drew played that beat for me,
right.
And he told me that sounds like a beat I would make, and that's why he sent it to me. And so I just love that beat and like like it's just like everything about that was just really fun to make. Like you can I took a video of myself like mouthing the words of that like the day I made that, and I was just so you can see how happy I was about that, making that song. Yeah, but I was really locked in at that point. I was making a lot of songs.
And so how often does the joy like emanate like that making songs?
Man, every time I feel like I make a good song.
Really?
Yeah.
That's crazy high. So then I think I don't remember, but I know for sure I saw you perform at Blue Room this year.
Mm-hmm.
And you and Jelani, that was the first time I heard Super Futuristic.
Yeah.
And as soon as it came on, the whole room, like sometimes with unreleased songs, it takes the crowd a minute to like figure out what's going on for real, but not that one. Like, literally, as soon as it went off, I like looked at one of my friends and we were like, no, that's it right there. And so I think that's probably my favorite song on the album. And it's so much energy in that song. And so what was it like? Oh, featuring Jelani, shout out to him. What was it like making that one? How did that come together?
Bruh, that was crazy. Like that session was so much fun because we were it's literally like, I think you can probably tell just based off the way the song is recorded, you could tell that's how we were recording.
Right.
Literally like going back to back, like just kind of freestyling just like the whole song and just like punching in like behind each other. And that shit was just like, I didn't really at first when we made it, I was like, oh, this is just a song we just made for fun. And like, but I think like the more like Jelani was like, nah, this shit's crazy. And I was just, and so I was just like, you know what, maybe like, yeah, maybe it is cool. But yeah, it was just so much fun like to make it. Like, I don't think like I wasn't even really like taking it super serious or overly seriously. Right. I mean, of course I wanted to say like cool shit in it.
Right. Yeah. I'd get what you're saying.
Yeah. But yeah, that was a great session. We made another song that I might leak one day during that same session, that same day. But that one was definitely the winner.
Yeah. No, that song's amazing, and people really like it. I can tell just like watching people move to it in crowds and stuff. And so in doing that show and others, as you've, I don't want to say transition because you still do production stuff, but as you've leaned more into being an artist, how do you feel like performing has like gotten easier for you, if it has, or your growth in terms of performing?
Man, honestly, I've been performing my whole life, like for real. Like even at like my like I think it was my third or fourth birthday party. Like as like a kid, like my mom or like my teacher let me perform for the class just because I would be humming in class all the time, and she was like, if you can stop humming, you could perform on your birthday. And I was like, okay, cool. Yeah, but yeah, I just been performing, and from there just been doing talent shows my whole life.
What did you perform?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, nah. So my dad was in a group way back in the day, like with some of his like friends, and they had this like song that I would just sing all the time, and I just performed that for them.
Okay.
But yeah, and then like growing up, like I did in kindergarten, I was in a talent show. I performed what is that song? The I Like It or I Like the Way by
the Outkast song?
Nah, it's I think it's Lil Corey. Yeah, I like the way.
Oh, okay,
yeah. I performed that in kindergarten, and in third grade, I performed "Run It" by Chris Brown.
Wow,
and I came in third place. Then in
you danced and everything.
Yeah. Nah, there's videos somewhere. My mom has the video somewhere. But yeah, and then like I used to really be big into dancing and shit. Like in sixth grade, I was in talent show dancing. I came in third place. No, I came in second place that year. And then did the talent show a couple more times, and yeah, I just been performing like even before like I stopped being an artist. Like I was more so just kind of just like I was performing all the time at Georgia State, and because I was a part of PEG, and I was one of their like main artists.
Right.
So I was doing a lot of shows, probably like maybe 1 or 2 shows a week.
Oh, crazy.
Yeah.
Okay, so this wasn't even like a new thing for you.
Nah, definitely. It was just more so like reconnecting with an old friend. So, but it's been so much fun. I really, really love it, and I think it's like it's becoming more and more fun the more I do it, because I'm getting to like getting a handle on like what works better, and like really finding my own style with it. So, that's
and
cool.
As you get more songs in your belt, those set lists get a little more difficult.
Yeah.
Do you ever have a moment where you're like, dang, I don't know which song to pick, which one to cut?
Man, I had that during the Atlanta Ultra show. Like I think all in all I did like maybe a 30-minute, 25-minute set, and yeah, like there was, even with that, I couldn't fit all the songs that I really wanted to do. Like I only did 2 songs from The Irreplaceable Now, just Santa Monica and 1000. And I didn't even do Don't Mind at that show,
right.
Which was like a lot of people were like, yo, why did you do that? Like, yo. Yeah. And so, yeah, like I didn't do that song. And yeah, there's a couple of other songs I didn't really like get to do that people wanted to hear. But yeah, like I didn't do the motions. Yeah, but yeah, like it's getting up there, like, and it's just gonna get even harder, but definitely still not even as hard as for Kenny though. Like we've been working on his set for this tour coming up, and
definitely be at that.
Yeah.
You get it. It's gonna get harder, but like that's good.
Yeah.
And so you got to go to New York and perform for David the Tragic show.
Yeah.
And you said that was your first time performing in New York, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so what was that experience like, being out there, kind of like celebrating his birthday and also an album release at the same time? It's kind of crazy.
Man, it kind of felt like home, honestly, just because it was nothing but Atlanta people on the bill and like my friends, so
right.
Like I didn't really feel out of place. It just felt all very natural, and people were really just showing a whole lot of love too, and it was just great. Yeah, I really enjoyed it a lot.
And like, where were you at when he did Out of Time? Because looking at the video on Instagram, it looks so magical.
Yeah, I was DJing his set.
Oh, yeah, I did know that. What did it look like from your end? Everybody's got the lights up, and he's doing this song that he considers like his best and favorite song of his. What was the energy in the room like for
Bro, it really was like everybody was locked in. Like everybody was kind of hypnotized, especially Bobby. Bobby is a beast.
I've been told recently.
Yeah, nah, like Bobby is different. So like, yeah, just having him do that shit live, and you know, and I was playing the drum beat in the back, and David's just like, you know, just doing that song, has the auto tune, everything is just like, it was truly a great moment. Like it was, yeah, that shit was hard.
Did you eat any special food while in New York?
Man,
something that stood out, because I went for my first time on Halloween, and you know, I got to try some stuff and it was cool, but I still don't think I ate anything better than like hot wings here or something. Like, I kind of missed home food after a while. But did you eat anything like special up there?
Man, there's this Greek spot I went to called Zatar. That shit was fire.
What'd you get?
It was like some kind of like Greek chicken with rice, or I think it was shawarma chicken. Maybe not shawarma. Was it shawarma chicken? Or it might have been. I think it was. Maybe.
I don't know much about that. So.
Yeah, but nah, it was great. That shit was fire. I fucked with that. There was this one Mexican restaurant. I think it was, what was it called? I forgot what it was called, but Nene's. That's what it's called. Yeah, Nene's, and that shit took forever. So I would recommend it to people, but just like, no,
you don't have to set some time aside.
Yeah, order it, go like watch a movie, then pick it up.
A movie? Yeah. Oh, when you said a long time, I'm thinking,
yeah,
you meant a long time.
No, yes.
Oh, that's
a long time.
That's not acceptable. Not for Mexican food. And so you were also a part of making the 3G song, and then also in the music video.
Mm-hmm.
How was that video shoot? He said the process was like very grueling.
Man, it wasn't that bad, bro. it was just 2 days, and like it was just a lot of sitting around. But I've been like, I'm an extra on like a lot of TV shows and movies, so that shit wasn't nothing.
Okay.
Like that shit was a breeze. But it was very, very long and really, really late. And there's a lot of sitting around and waiting. But it wasn't that bad for me, at least.
Right.
I know for everybody else that they can speak for themselves.
Did you have to like actually drive to do that?
Yeah, I was driving on some of the parts. Yeah, like there was like a couple of shots where I was actually just driving up and down Northside Drive, and in this old ass car, and yeah, it was a little scary because like you had the camera mount on there too.
Right. That's why I asked if you have to actually drive, because I was like,
But there were a good amount of like shots where like we were on the back of like a cart, and they were like pulling us, and I was just pretending to drive.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Flexing the acting chops. And so you started talking about throwing your own show and like performing and stuff, but the event as a whole. When did you decide, you wanted to create a space to perform the album and, shed light on other artists that you like and work with and that are your friends at this point?
Man, that was like, so I really like, it started off like I really just wanted to perform the album. Like, cause I didn't really have I dropped the album and I didn't really have any shows coming up or, lined up. And so I was just like, yo, I might as well just go ahead and do this like myself, like, because and a lot of people were telling me I needed to do that too, and I've really been wanting to do that, but so yeah, I just started setting that up, and as I was doing that, it's like I need some people to like bring people out. I was like, I just have my friends, they're like all amazing,
right?
And a couple of people that like some people aren't really familiar with, like Hollow.io, he's crazy. Zaya is kind of a new name to a lot of people like in this scene, but he definitely has his own. He's like a really pretty nice size fan base outside of that. So, right. And that he's like garnered all on his own. So I just really wanted to like more so have like the people that are like familiar with me, Jelani, David, Muddy, to like, gain awareness to some of these other really dope artists in Atlanta that don't usually get, all like the looks from Atlanta, or, just like traditionally.
In the bubble that we're kind of mostly in, I guess you will. No, that makes perfect sense. And so my second favorite song was Breakthrough. And that one was on SoundCloud for a while. And I didn't know if it was gonna make it to the album because I was like, why he didn't just drop it as a single like the rest of them?
Yeah,
like,
because to be honest, I didn't think it was gonna go on the album at first, but I thought it just made sense because it's a really good song, and like that was one of the songs on Sound that I dropped on SoundCloud that was like that has done like the best since I've really been dropping songs like again. So I was like, yo, like might as well just put it on the project, and it replaced another song. Like it kicked another song off the track list, and yeah. And so that was, I think it fits really, really well. And yeah, I love that song.
Yeah, I like where it got slotted too. What do you have coming up? What are we doing these days?
Man, so, when is this interview going to come out?
Not this week, but next week. Next week, Friday.
Next week, Friday. I have 2 songs out now.
Oh. Living in the future.
We're living in the future. I have 2 songs out now. One I dropped on SoundCloud. One is kind of brand new, and yeah, check that out. Candid and Maria, and Candid was on SoundCloud for a minute, and I just love that song like a lot. And then Maria is another song that I made in LA, and both of those songs are songs that technically got lost when my computer and hard drive got stolen.
Right.
So those are just songs that I just had the bounces for, like in like whatever form, whatever like, you know,
stage.
Whatever stage they were in, and like, you know, those were just kind of like songs that I really, 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 really fuck with, even like regardless of like, you know, how like if they could have been added on to, but just I just see the beauty in like what it is at that moment. And there's a good amount of songs that I have like that kind of only like the final bounce got like, you know, survived, and but I really wanted to drop that. So now I'm on a mission, not a mission, yeah, that's but it's kind of like it's gonna be like a running thing for the next couple of months, where like every month I want to drop 2 of those songs, like 2 songs that got lost but are just like still so fire, you know. So this month, December, drop Candid and Maria on December 5th, and next month, it is December now.
Correct,
but yeah, next month in January dropping 2 more, and then in February dropping 2 more. So I don't know about March yet though.
No,
I might,
cool.
Yeah, I'm thinking about it though, because I do have a lot of cool songs that I really, really love. But I think after that, I think I want to go ahead and start gearing toward my next like real release. So, but these songs are actually going to be on DSPs. So they're going to be on like Spotify, Apple Music, Tidal, all that. So they're going to be there because like, why not? I just want to like, you know, I want to just keep dropping music because I just have so much music to drop, and so much music that I feel like is really good and people could really, really like fuck with.
Right.
But, yeah.
And that's very triumphant to like spin a, you know, situation that was probably not fun at all and like have something good come out of it at the end, like in this way that's kind of like life, where it's like not perfect, but it's like making the best out of it. So that's really cool. I'm looking forward to hearing the songs that hopefully you've already heard.
Yeah, you should. Yeah, if you this shouldn't be news to you.
Right. Yeah, that's all I got, bro. So I appreciate you coming through.
I appreciate it.
Looking forward to seeing this nice run you're about to end the year on and then begin the new year on. So
yes, sir.
Appreciate you stopping by.
Thank you for having me, bro.
For sure. Tune in next time. See y'all later.
Hell yeah.